Oh, God's sake. Oi! Wee! Wee! Oh, Vin, oh, for fuck's sake. Bloody hell. Shit, dude. That's insane. Very good, Vin.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is Sunday, the 9th of October, and the time is 5 minutes to 1 in the afternoon. And yes, as you can imagine, I got pretty baked last night. A couple of cocktails and a lot of bourbon and cokes and that sort of thing, and yeah, paying for it now. The cocktails and the bourbons are, you know, compared to Australia, very cheap here. So I didn't burn through a whole lot of money, which was good, but I'm paying for it today. Got up early, I went out, had like 2 Hobbit breakfasts, and then I went for a walk to try and find a new hotel for me to stay in, and I looked on Agoda. I'll be leaving this hotel on Wednesday. I tried to get a deal for this hotel to match this other hotel's deal that I went to look at, which took me a bloody hour to find. You know, sweaty mess of a man at the end of it, which was good. It was like being in a sauna and you're sweating out all the alcohol toxins. So that was all right. But when I got to the hotel, the reason I couldn't find it is, unbeknownst to me, when the typhoon came through, it had ripped all their signage off. And Google Maps had got me like standing right out the front of the place, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm the photo on Google Maps, and I'm looking at that thing going, oh, it kind of looks similar, but there's no sign. So I'm asking people, and I got people, you know, walking me here and walking me there, and we're all like scratching our heads. No one knew anything. And then the restaurant where I go every morning, the cafe restaurant thing every morning, is right across the road from another homestay where that guy was giving me the evil eye. Anyway, his wife, beautiful woman, saw these restaurant people on their phones trying to help me find this place, and she came over and she basically told the lady of the restaurant where the place was. So I jumped on the back of this lady's scooter, and we went there. I had a look, and Agoda says they wanted $15 a night for this homestay. Fortunately, it's a homestay that I would have my own room there. But it's he was saying it's $20 a night, and I'm saying, no, mate, Agoda says 15. So he's like trying to raise the price, and he's trying to tell me, oh, it mistake, you know, since COVID and typhoon, I have not updated the website, so I charge you 20. And then I said, but I could order it through Agoda now for 15. And he goes, oh yes, but I will change that. I'm like, I'll get back to you, buddy. Yeah, I'll get back to you this afternoon. I have no intention of getting back to him. So anyway, the lady across the road from the restaurant with the husband, I should stop saying the husband with the evil eye, because we're best mates now. He waves to me and smiles from his balcony. It's pretty cool. But I don't know his name. I don't remember his name. So for now, I'll just call him the evil eye guy until I can remember what his name is, or ask him again. She's going to match the $20 a night thing. So that is great, because she's lovely. Her husband is lovely now. Their homestay is very nice. So I'm going to go and stay there from Wednesday until the 1st of November, which will give me time to save up enough money for the flight back to Melbourne, which will be another Afterpay thing. So what happens, with Afterpay, so let's say the flight's $800. So when you book the flight with Afterpay, that very moment you will pay your first installment. There'll be 4 of them. 4 times 2 is 8. So the first installment will be $200. So I need to get $200, affordable $200, so I still can eat, in my account for the first thing. But then I've got to futurize the next installments while I'm still here and have enough money to eat as well. So it'll be okay. I'm not telling you this to try and, tell you some sob story and get you to send me money. I'm going to be okay. It's just that it's just a bit of a muck around, really. That's all it is. So I also have reached 700 subs on my YouTube channel. I'm not sure if it happened last night while I was at those clubs having a great time, or this morning when I was walking around sweating like a madman trying to find that homestay. But I just wanted to say thank you guys, from my heart. I have such a good time making these videos. Full transparency here, I think I'm addicted to it. I know that these kind of uploads without Rigsy are possibly not what a lot of you want to watch, because I don't have the rig here, this is really not off-grid at all. I'm paying money and I'm staying in nice places and eating out at restaurants and everything, but I just needed for me to do these uploads, and I didn't want to create another YouTube channel just specifically for this 1 month visit or 2 months or whatever it's going to be. So I've plonked it into the Off-Grid Mojo channel. When I go back to Australia, everything back to Rigsy, everything back to normal kind of thing. And then the plan is that every 6 weeks there'll be back and forth. If I get this boat built, for 6 weeks I'll be here on the boat, and I'll be screen printing and doing my fashion, and I'll be right on the dock of the market. So how that works, the Hoi An market system and the shops, from I think it's 7 a.m. till about 11 a.m. or 12 a.m. or something, or I don't know. This girl, Tao, told me there's a rush on in that section, and then everyone sort of closes up, and maybe you could call it a siesta time like they do in Italy, and then they come back from, I think it's 5 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night. The shops are open where you can buy stuff, and then the music starts in the bars and that sort of thing. So that is how it rolls. So if I'm in my boat selling my stuff like that, and the reason I want a boat is because I'm passionate about boats and I like to do things a little bit different from other people. Oh yes, I don't really want to shop because, I just feel like, oh God, I'm going to get stuck in a bloody shop, So renting a space on a dock is going to be a lot cheaper than renting a house here. And also I can go sailing, I'm not going to be going over to bloody Botswana or, Gambia in my boat. It's probably not ocean going like that, and I have no experience on the ocean. But going up and down rivers and coming out of the mouth a little bit, going around Lefty to Hoi An Beach and a righty, There's some islands just across the way. I can practice, and then maybe one day, if this boat is able to do an ocean crossing, I will do that. Otherwise, I may sell the boat or leave it as the business there, train someone up, and I'll have another boat built, something like that. These are all pie in the sky ideas, guys. Some of it, maybe all of it, might not even happen. But I always need something to chew on, you know. It's why I love these videos so much. It forces me out of my comfort zone. You know, in the yesterday's upload, I was telling you about my energy levels, anxiety and things like that. I have been labelled and titled by the medical fraternity as having schizophrenia, which is basically voices and incoming impressions, and over the years I did not know how to contend with that, and I joined various groups along the way. One of the first groups that I ever joined was a 12-step program, Alcoholics Anonymous. It was a real blessing, even though I was anti-God and anti, you know, all of this. But fortunately, I was presented with a couple of sponsors. My first sponsor was a well-meaning person who meant well, but really didn't have a good grasp of the program. But, you know, I wasn't ready at that time to devote myself to a system. And so he was the one who presented himself to me, and I was red hot to roll. I just didn't know it at the time, and I had to be around the rooms for a while for the whole God concept to get through years and years of social conditioning and anti-God this, and you know, and then once that happened, a new sponsor came into my geography, somebody that knows the program, lives the program, and knew how to teach, you know, and took me through the steps correctly. And I had not just one spiritual experience, but the very first spiritual experience I ever had was that night after he had taken me through the steps correctly, and it was just incredible. Words fall short. I'm not even going to try and put it into words for you guys, but to give you an idea of the feeling of how it felt to have that spiritual experience, I felt empty and full at the same time. It was a paradoxical moment and event. I'll never forget it, and I'll never forget my sponsors in AA. But I left, and then I played around in some ashrams. I did a lot of service work in some ashrams. And then I got into the churches, specifically the Pentecostal churches, and that was nice too. I had spiritual experiences in all of these places. But I just didn't feel at home in any of them. As nice as it was, I just didn't feel like I was at home. And then one day I met a hermit in Venus Bay when I was living there after my first marriage breakdown. And to cut a long story short, he introduced me to a system called the Fourth Way system, which was put together, or, you know, invented by a mystic by the name of George Ivanovich Gurdjieff. He was a mystic from around the early 1900s, came out of Russia and set up some spiritual places where people could go, and he would teach them about transformation. So that is what I do. Obviously Gurdjieff had passed away, but a few of his key students, or pupils if you like, took over the legacy and opened up their own schools, and a few of those people, of those people's pupils, I came into contact with through YouTube, and I am a member of a group, and the leader of this group, there were two of them. Unfortunately, Rebecca Nottingham has passed away. And she's lived onwards with her husband Ted Nottingham, who is my teacher, and their children. So I feel very blessed to have met these guys, and I'm a member of their online school. I'm not here trying to sell you some weird cult or anything, guys. It's just what I do every day. I say I get up very early in the morning. I do. The first thing I do in the morning is read one page of a book every day without fail, and it's very critical for me to read this book. It talks all about how to contend with all this information that comes into my mind. Without that, I would not be sitting here before you in the capacity that I am. I would not be able to make these videos. I would not be able to go out into public the way that I do, even though it's only short bursts that I can do. But it's something, it's something, and very grateful for that. What else? So, 700 subscribers. That's awesome, guys. I know the lifestyle I live is extremely radical. Living in my rigsy full time. This kind of lifestyle and this radical way of living will probably never sell well, if you know what I mean. It is just too radical, and a lot of people may look at it and go, wow, you're doing, what a great thing, but they would never do it themselves. Maybe they get a caravan or a tiny house on wheels and live in that for a little bit, and that's okay. I'm not knocking that, but I'm on a different level of radicalness, and a lot of people don't get it as well and give me the evil eye. That is very challenging for me to contend with. When I roll into a town and a lot of people come over, and some of them give you the evil eye, and I've had lurkers coming around while I've been trying to sleep and touching the rig and talking and carrying on and saying, whoever lives in this is fucking weird and stuff like that. It really affects me. It shouldn't, but it does, and I have to be extremely careful. So this holiday in Vietnam is, a good step away from that for a little while. All right.